Modern Art. My name is Roy, Chief Curator, Department of Film here at MoMA. It's my pleasure to welcome you to this evening's contender screening of Sing Sing. We are very grateful to our friends at A24, not only for allowing us to include it in the series, but for really being behind this film for over a year now, taking it around the country, around the world, and sharing the message of these incredible artists that you're about to witness on screen. I will be back for a conversation with 3 of them, so please stick around for the Q&A afterwards. Until then, Sing Sing. Dino. Gentlemen, welcome to the Museum of Modern Art.
Thank you for having me.
Our great pleasure, as you can tell. Your work is greatly admired here and has been greatly admired over the past year plus that you gentlemen have been speaking about this film, presenting it around the world. I believe it launched in Toronto over a year ago, is that right?
Toronto International Film Festival.
Yeah. So I was actually wondering if we could start there. Start with the process of bringing this film into the public, right? Bringing this story, your stories, into the public. Maybe just talk a little bit about your journey of sharing this with audiences. If there's been anything that has surprised you, moved you, what has this experience been like?
Well, first of all, thank you all for enjoying this. Bringing this to the public was an imperative thing for us because it's the message that's involved that we needed the people to see that people inside prison are exactly that. Prison. People though. Yeah. Prisoners, people those. With the capability of changing, with the capability of growing, with the capability of coming home and adding on to society and being positive people. So that was imperative. But what happened was Clinton Gregg got in touch with Brent, based on a magazine that they had read, Esquire magazine, that had the Breaking the Mummy's Code article inside. And Brent basically said that if you really want to know the story, you should hear it from the men that lived it. So we arranged to have a breakfast at Brent's house one morning, which turned into breakfast, a few drinks, dinner, and all of that, It turned into a movie. Yeah, but we got to talk about a lot of things other than movies, other than strips, other than the article. It was more about what kind of human being are you, and how do you see the world? It was them filling us out, we filling them out, because others have pen and tried to tell our story, but we felt as though that they didn't want to keep the integrity intact, that they may have wanted to change it or misuse our story and mistreat it. So we never. But we saw that Clinton Gregg was pretty genuine, and here we are.
I would say, just to answer your question about what's surprising, we've gone pretty much over a year touring this film around the world, and what I think is the most surprising thing to us was because, for the most part, we were told that nobody really cared about a prison movie. But they didn't realize that this wasn't a prison movie. This was a movie about humanity. This was a movie about relationships. This is a movie about perseverance. And for everywhere that we've gone, for audiences to resonate with the message the way that you have, before we even said a word, we got a standing ovation. And we totally appreciate you all for that, right? But this is the same type of energy we're getting everywhere we bring this film. And that was a little surprising to us because we were told that we didn't matter, that nobody cared, that we were inmates, right? And now we're realizing together with society, with the world that we're all just people.
Right.
And that people really do care about other people.
I would like to thank everyone as well. Thank you for being here. I must admit, you know, I was a little discouraged. I was like, they're not gonna get it. It's gonna go over their head. Yeah. We went to Toronto, and they got it. I was like, okay. It totally threw me off. And then the audience after audience, they got it. I was like, holy cow. What do we have here?
We're on to something.
You know, because, you know, so often for so many years, you know, no matter how much effort we put into trying to show people that we were humans, they would look over it, you know. All they saw was green. And for the world to embrace us the way they have, it's a beautiful, beautiful feeling. And
It means the world.
and it restores hope, you know, in all of us, that this is a beautiful world, and there's beautiful people in this world. And we have to come to realize that that is our strength. Thank you.
Ron, you talked about the building the trust with the filmmakers right from the get-go, right?
Yeah.
What were there difficult moments? Were there for any of you, either with developing the script, developing the story, how it was going to play out, actually playing it out, or then presenting? Were there moments that weren't quite, you know?
Well,
easy
actually, in the beginning, because you know we started it during COVID, so we're basically Zooming and trying to get a script together over Zoom, and then finally when Coleman came on board, we were still Zooming, and you know, like in the onset, like Greg and Clint would sit around, listen to our stories, listen to the things we talk about, and then go back and write something and bring it back to present, and somehow it loses translation. This is when we got on board, me, Devon G, got on board as far as writers, co-writers, because we understand that there's actually nowhere you can go to learn prison jargon and how prisoners communicate with one another unless you've been in prison. You know, so to keep the storyline authentic and to keep it on point, me and Devon G began to write. You know, we began to translate the ideas that Greg and Clint had gotten from the conversations that we had. We began to translate them, and that's how I get a co-writer's point on this movie.
Well, you brought up Coleman, and I'd love to bring him into our conversation now. Actually, I've known Coleman Domingo for nearly 20 years.
Great guy, isn't he?
He's amazing, and I knew him when he was already a great New York theater actor, but he wasn't known, right? You know, he faced challenges in breaking through.
Right.
He has broken through, and he is astonishing in this film, and he's quite accomplished at this point. So I'm wondering from each of you, what was the experience working with, educating Coleman? I'm sure you helped him a lot, but also was it reciprocal? Were there things he could help you with in terms of some of his experience as an actor?
It was a beautiful thing. Right, you know, I don't mean to say your words, and Coleman is soaring right now.
Absolutely.
Okay. I learned so much from him. Just watching him, scene by scene, and unbelievable. And he's such a giving person, you know. I didn't know what to expect, you know, when I first met him. I thought he was gonna have an ego, and, you know. But he was like,
Actor.
yeah, make up, you know. But Coleman was just down to earth. He's just a regular guy, and he fit in because we've been together for years. We spent so many years together. We know each other, and Coleman came in and just fit right in. get in a scene with him, he brings it and he gives you space for you to bring it. You know what I mean? And it pretty much pulls it out of you. This is an amazing thing, working with him.
I would say that first and foremost, the most amazing part of Coleman is his heart. He's a man of humility, and he's so warm and welcoming that he's able to basically be a sponge in almost any circle of people and just absorb in a way that I didn't realize is possible. I mean, when you look into Coleman's face, sometimes he doesn't even say certain things. Like when they talked about, are you acting now, when he was at the parole board, and you see his face, he didn't have to say anything. You see it right in his face, the emotion comes right across the screen. And so to be able to see how he was able to take a range of emotions and just be able to speak without speaking, that was an art that I had not seen in such a way until I met Coleman Domingo, right? But beyond that, just the way that he was able to absorb Divine G. I often joke about this all the time. Divine G is no longer Divine G. Coleman Domingo is Divine G. And Divine G has defined identity. It's over. He actually became Divine G. It's I can't even look at Divine G the same anymore. I don't know how to say
Yeah, for me, man, going toe to toe with Coleman Domingo and all those scenes, man. He's such a giving person, like everyone else said. And we all come from a theater background. He's definitely come from the theater, and we got our chops on the theater stage as well. It's just that in the theater that we were in is poor acoustics and a trance sound. But he showed me how to, in theater we got to project so that the guy in the last seat over there can hear every enunciation and know that I'm not running over my punctuation and he showed me how to bring all of that into just the screen, just to bring all of that into here and to reach deeper inside to bring it out more. So he showed me that, and in a way that that he didn't feel like an overbearing teacher, like a guy that was like, yo, listen, do it like this. It wasn't like that. It was a more drawing it out. The root word of education is adduce. Adduce means to pull out. And that's what he did. He pulled out a character that was already in.
I think real quick, one thing to say about Coleman was that he was a leader that allowed you to lead or feel like you were leading. But that's his style of leadership, if that makes sense to any of you.
And we were definitely blessed to have Greg, Clint, and Monique, because they allowed us each scene to find that sense of truth. And sometimes, we found everything was scripted, but at times it went off the script. And they let us find the truth of every scene, and that is something that doesn't often happen. But that was a beautiful thing as well.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up your director and your writers. And one thing I just learned though is you didn't have a lot of time with Coleman, right, on set. He did this in how many days?
18 days, I think 18 or 19 days. He was in between Rustin and Color Purple. So, when Greg and his guys presented it to him, it was on a Zoom, we were over there. And listen, he's thinking, all right, we can get it done, let's get it done. When we want to do it? We want to do it now. He's like, now? Because he was thinking next year maybe. Well, come on, bro, we got to do it, man. And he said, all right, well, let's do it. I got 18 days, we'll take it. We'll take the 18, let's go.
Y'all did it. Look, you are all in a new realm, the realm of the awards campaign. And it is a very specific realm. Clarence, you have been nominated for Outstanding Supporting Actor at the Gotham Awards coming up very soon. trembling in their boots is Guy Pearce, Danielle Deadweiler, Karen Culkin, you know. But I'm also pleased to say that you all have been awarded the Social Justice Tribute from the Gothams. So, look, I mean, awards either have meaning or not, whether, you know, we all give them. But I think in this case, and certainly in this journey, what the awards campaign, what the circuit can do for you and for this movie is raise awareness, right? And I just wanted to end on your ultimate goals for this film and how we all can be, you know, amplifying those goals for you. So,
Well, first of all, the awards, the institution, we respect it greatly, man, because of all the people that have gotten awards before this, because of the achievements of storytellers that came before us and were recognized. You know what I mean? We appreciate that. However, me, myself, I feel as though I already won. You know what I mean? I already won because the people get it. The people understand that, you know, we have one community, just only one. Whether you have a segment that's locked away, or a segment that's in mental health, or a segment that they might be in an old folks' home, or whatever. It's only one community. You can tear the walls down, but we all still in just only one community, and the people that are in prison are a part of the community, and they still have the ability to contribute to the community. And that was the message. So with that message being spread, we win because the community will win.
To be quite honest, my goal is achieved every time we get on the stage, because my goal was for this film to create the energy that we feel here together collectively tonight. Yeah. Right? And so, if I have to state another goal, right, and try to put a task on all of us, I would say that if there's 400 of us in this theater tonight, if each one of you commit to telling 5 people they need to go out and see Sing Sing, that's 2,000. And then tell those 2,000 they got to get 5 more. And let's keep doing it until the rest of the world feels the same thing you feel right now.
I know you're better than that than me. That was great.
I think also that, you know, JJ would like to also let you know that we want all of you to walk out of here. We want you to feel it in your heart. And we want everyone to go tell someone, because we want to touch all the hearts. We need more love in this world.
Well, that's a lesson we all need to learn much more these days. So, gentlemen, thank you so much for being here.